roaring. It's over! It's over! Cleveland is a city of champions once again! The Cavaliers are NBA champions!
Steph Curry is the most arrogant player we've had in the NBA since Michael Jordan. Steph Curry's not the most valuable player.
Winners win! And losers lose.
There's something to be said. When you play the game of basketball, I cannot emphasize to y'all enough. You can bring a Michael Jordan out there. You can bring a LeBron James out there. There is nothing that strikes fear in the opposition more than a dude that can just throw the ball up unconsciously and it goes in.
Now, and he's your worst nightmare.
And he tells the fans, I am back. I am back.
Oh, he is. In a big way, too.
Steph Curry seems to have an attitude, and rather than talk about it, he seems to be taking it out on opponents. Steph Curry literally, it just like, he walks past half court, and you got guys scared that he's going to pull up from 40. That's the kind of, he shoots like that. He pulls up from 40, and it ain't even a bad shot. I mean, you look at it, he shot double the amount of times that Klay Thompson, these are the Splash Brothers. And he has 84 shots on the year, and Klay Thompson has half that. And nobody cares. This dude, it's unbelievable. What are you gonna do with a dude that pulls up from 40?
You always want to blame other people. You always want to hold other people to the fire, but you're not holding yourself to the fire. You just said you're giving 50%. You owe you an explanation. You owe you an explanation. You need to look at yourself in the mirror and say, why are you only giving 50%? What's wrong with you? Why do you wake up in the morning? Why do you put on that jersey? Why do you go out and practice? He said, when you want to succeed as bad as you want to breathe, then you'll be successful. Most of you don't want success as much as you want to sleep. And when you get to the point where all you want to do is be successful as bad as you want to breathe, then you'll be successful. And I'm here to tell you, number one, that most of you say you want to be successful, but you don't want it bad. You just kind of want it. I have standards. I have values.
But somebody had better figure out a damn way to beat him, because he's in danger of making this entire NBA season a
You have a timeout. Decide not to use it. Curry, way downtown. Oh, what a shot from Curry! With 0.6 of a second remaining. The brilliant shooting of Stephen Curry continues.
I love it. Stephen Curry is my second favorite basketball player ever, next to Michael Jordan.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, Stephen Curry is one of my favorites. I had the pleasure of meeting him and the entire Golden State Warriors team at the Four Seasons in Washington, D.C. when they played the Wizards. It was unreal, and they're really he's a really great guy. You know, he's a good Christian. He's just an overall good character. But this video is really important to watch because it's like, you know, everyone gave him so much hype when he won the MVP anonymously, and they ended up losing to the Cavaliers. And then soon as they lost, you see what they said about him, right? So they went from praising him and giving him all this love and saying he's the best and this and that. Soon as they lost the championship, they put all the blame on him. And they said that he wasn't worthy of the MVP. He's this and that. And what did he do? Instead of he decided to work harder. and his legacy is not over. It's not. He just um passed. What was the guy's name? Was it Reggie Miller? He just passed Reggie Miller in the 3-point all-time 3-point shooter.
I believe
So,
it's Allen.
huh?
Isn't it Ray Allen?
Oh,
I think it's.
sorry, Ray Allen. It was one of them. Yes, Ray Allen. I think you're right. So, yeah, his legacy is definitely not over, and you just so this video reminds you of, like, you might be a superstar and you might be out here doing all kinds of amazing things, and then you might have a downfall and you might not win, and just brush off whatever the haters say about you and go back out there and do what you're doing. Don't stop being who you are, and showing the world who you are, and continue to do who you are, be who you are, do what you got to do, work hard every single day. There is nothing easy about trading. We're definitely going to have our ups and downs, especially with the way the market is. And just keep practicing, and you guys, we'll get there. So tonight we have a very special guest. We have Mr. Jim Janis. He is my mentor. I've got to know him for the last 2 years since I started trading. And Jim has so much insight of Wall Street. He not only was he just a trader, but he was actually doing deals in Wall Street. So he has made a name for himself. He comes from a very predominant family. Because of Mr. Jim, I've gotten to meet some really big people like Mr. Walgreens and Mr. Oscar Mayer and all these amazing people. So anyway, I'm going to let Jim go ahead and give him the mic and let him talk about his journey and how it all started, and, talk a little bit about his dad. And okay, so let's go, Mr. Jim. Let me shut up.
Hey, Shar. So I really thoroughly enjoyed that motivational video, and I too am a Seth Curry fan, and anybody who, with his physique, be able to compete in the NBA is because of incredible over desire, overdrive, and just putting in a tremendous amount of effort. And if you believe that effort in equals results, he should motivate everybody. And so, with that segment, let me kind of give you a little bit about myself and as far as some of my approaches to the market, and the way that I kind of see how at least high trade, and maybe you can get some benefit of, or maybe get some pointers as far as how you too can maybe be able to trade the market. So to start things off, I'll give you a little background of myself. Grew up in Chicago, and was fortunate to be born into a very successful family. My father, Martin Janis, built one of the larger public relations firms in the 50s, and represented blue chip clients and really specialized in political PR. And as a young kid growing up, I had exposure to really the elite of Chicago as far as business, as far as politics. And this was just kind of the way that I grew up. And from that, I had the opportunity of hearing, listening to, and being around some immensely successful and very powerful people. So I started, working in the market in 1979. I dropped out of school, freshman over at the University of Wisconsin, got a job at the Mercantile Exchange, and absolutely fell in love with commodities in the market. And much to the chagrin of my father, I dropped out of school and started working in the market, and really kind of haven't turned back since. And while I was at the Mercantile Exchange, I had a unique opportunity to be able to be mentored by some of the great commodity traders of really, I think, all times. And back in the time where I started working, which was in the 70s, the way that one was able to, I guess, kind of get acceptance was to apprenticeship in charting. So back then, charts had to be done manually. So after I would finish my shift at the Mercantile Exchange, I worked with a very successful trader by the name of Ira Epstein. and I did all his charts. And I did that for about 3 years. And in return, get paid. He would sit down and he would go over these charts with me and teach me about how charts and trading works in commodities. And that was the foundation of how I learned to trade the market. And I come from a commodity-oriented trading approach. I believe as a trader, as most commodity traders, you should flatten out your positions every single night. You should never go home with an open position. Most successful commodity traders that I know never carried positions overnight. So if you really want to make a living long-term trading, you need to approach this, from my opinion, of having specifically a portion of your that you allocate towards trading, a portion that you allocate towards longer term investments. That you allocate towards trading, you need to be disciplined. And if you say that I'm going to be out every single evening, then you need to be out every single evening. And that's kind of, I think, a really important discipline that you need to carry into trading. And whatever the approach that you have, you really need to stay on that discipline, because if you vary from that discipline, eventually you're going to end up losing money. It may work for a little bit of time, but if you don't stay disciplined to how you approach things, you're going to give back most of your trades. You may have a hot streak, but you'll end up giving back most of it. So I worked during that period for Dean Witter. I was very fortunate to excel and do well. And while I was working at Dean Witter, I had the chance of working on the options exchange floor out in California, where I was doing arbitrage clerking for them. So I really got a really good understanding of options and how options work. So I took my commodity background, I now added to it options, and this is again very hands-on, practical, seeing how these markets work. And that's kind of where I was able to get a lot of knowledge and trading understanding of options. So I now trade commodities, not as much as I used to when I was younger, and I trade options. Both of these coming from actual floor experience and having the opportunity to, kind of get trained and mentored by some really, really good people. Started in 1985 to work for my father. He's, as I mentioned, a very successful public relations firm in Chicago. And at the time when I was working at Dean Witter, they would not allow me to trade. And part of the reason why I left in 85 is because I started trading and making a lot of money. And they caught wind to it, and they said, you can't stay here anymore, or you have to stop trading. And at that time, I decided it would be of benefit to me to start to work for my father in the family company. And at that time, one of the areas that my father, I think, kind of helped develop and create was investor relations. And the client that I started working with in this area was a small little Chicago dairy company called Dean Foods, which, at the time was traded on the OTC markets, which at that time, NASDAQ back in 1985 was almost as bad as the pink sheets are right now. So getting investors to invest in a NASDAQ stock back in 1985 was not such an easy thing to do. But I was good at it, and I was able to, by introducing the company to people, get them to learn about the company. As they met with management, they invested in the company. I was immensely fortunate that Dean Food was an incredibly well-run company. And that little dairy company, which was literally $15 million in revenues, turned into $1 billion multinational company that eventually went on to the New York Stock Exchange. So kind of to make an analogy, if you had an early client like Amazon and you had that client for 15 years, you would have been able to get a lot of business, and a lot of people would like to listen to your ideas. And that was kind of what Dean Food did. That $7 stock went up to about $3,500 when you take into stock splits and dividends. And it was an immensely well-run company. So I was able to take that fortune and I turned Martin E. Janis and my division, the investor relations, into one of the largest investor relations companies in Wall Street. This was dating up to 2000, where I kind of parted ways with my father and started to get more involved with special projects. And in that process, really started to get pretty aggressive with trading, and started to, take the skills and the knowledge and turn it into actual practical trading. So these are kind of some of the things which I think I'd like to maybe pass on to you guys as far as these approaches which I have to trading. And the things which, this is what I look for, is you need tools, or you need something to be able to use to go to give you a foundation. And these were my tools. I use these even to this day. And that is IBD, Investor Business Daily. It was a Bible for me for many, many years. Now I know it's digital, and they only come up with a weekly edition, but they have some great ideas, and they do a really good job of playing out commodities and talking about different trends. And if you're looking for idea flow, IBD is in my opinion, a really, really good place. And I think it should be a read that everybody who trades reads every single day. And then the second tool that I use is Bloomberg. And if you get a chance, because I know a lot of you won't get up early in the morning, but record Bloomberg from, say, about 4 o'clock in the morning to 6 o'clock in the morning, East Coast time. So you get to see their European edition, and you'll get incredible insight to markets, and hear some really, really smart people, and it will give you some great trading ideas and strategy. And I really highly recommend that if you can't get up, just take those 2 hours early in the morning of Bloomberg and go through it later in the afternoon. And I think that will give you some really good ideas as far as what you want to do to invest. Part of the other tools that I use are kind of like indicators. I think everybody needs to have indicators to give you a direction of the market. And these are indicators that I've used. Iron ore, I think, is a great indicator. Lumber is a great indicator. I look at all the commodities, and to me, they kind of really give me a sense of where the market's going. So if lumber, which seems to move long before anything else, all of a sudden goes from $600 per metric, whatever their measurement, to $1,100, then that has to indicate to you that the economy is doing pretty good. Housing stocks may not be a bad thing to look at, and Home Depot probably should be something that you might want to invest. And if you'd follow lumber, you could have picked up on Home Depot and all of those other stocks a good 30 to 60 days before they had their moves. Now, I'm talking about a year and a half ago. So I think commodities are really good tools that help you as far as kind of being able to get early reads in the market, and it's something which I've always done. And I guess the most important thing, and it's rely on your instincts. And I can't tell you, but the market, it tells you what to do. You just don't listen, okay? And if you can, so if you have a position and you say to yourself, I wonder if I should sell. That's your instinct telling you better sell. And anytime that enters into your brain, that sell thought, that's your instinct telling you better get out of that position, or you better buy that position. And so I think you need to really be in tune with and try to listen to those instincts. And if you can listen to them, I think you'll be able to really trade the market much better. You know, when I talk about things as far as instinctive, I'll give you an example. And this is something which I shared with Shar. I bought Tesla a while ago, around 600. And when it went to $1,200, I text Shar because it traded at $1,234. And I text her, I said, Shar, I think this is a sign I should sell. And of course I didn't, because I don't listen to these things either. And And sure enough, that was about the top, and that's when Elon Musk went out and said he was going to be selling his position, and the stock went immediately down to about $900. And I will tell you, I have sold, but not at $1,000, $1,200. So these are things I think all of you guys see when you trade. You got to be in tune and in touch with them. And I guess at the end of the day, if you can be honest with yourself, I think you have the opportunity of making a living off of trading. So anyway, that's kind of my wise words. I hope they were helpful. And I guess to kind of back it up, I don't know, about 2 years ago, my brother, just for shits and giggles, gave me 25 grand because he kept hearing me talk about all this market stuff, and said, okay, let's see what you can do with it. And it peaked about 6 months ago at $108,000. And today it's sitting at around $78,000. And for the last 2 months, and Shar will tell you this because I've been pretty bearish this market, I'm about 60% cash. So, it does work. At least it works for me. And like I said, I hope that maybe some of these ideas will help you. Shar?
No, this is absolutely great. Thank you so much for taking the time to do this. We do have your charts. So did you want to explain those?
Yeah, again, these are what you get when you watch Bloomberg, and that's the only reason why I go over there and bring this out. But so like here, so this chart here, there's one of them that Bloomberg pulls up, which is PE ratios. Okay, now I had an opportunity as a young man to work with a guy by the name of Yale Hirsch. He wrote Trader Stock Market Almanac, which I think is kind of legendary. He's one of the great gurus I got to work with. And Yale told me that every bull market starts when PEs are at 8, and every bull market ends when PEs hit 30. And if you can see back in 1999, the PE was 30 and the market crashed. And you can see recently the market hit 30.
Can we make those charts bigger or no? Hold on.
This is as big as I can get them.
Okay, got it. Okay.
This one won't get any bigger than this for some reason. Wait, hold on. Actually, I'm wrong. Yeah, I'm done.
All right, so quick question. This is being recorded, correct?
Yes, it is.
Okay, awesome, because I'm about to go into my second job, so
Well, have a good night at your second job. But yeah, all these are going to be recorded, so we'll get the link out when it's done
okay,
up.
awesome. Well, pleasure on meeting you, and thank you. You guys have a good night.
So again, the chart on the right, which you can see are showing the two that are going to heights. That's the chart which is a PE valuation. And if you believe that Yale Hirsch is correct, we are at a cyclical top and are entering into a long-term bear market cycle. And if that's correct, then you and everybody should be trading more on a bear approach than on a bull approach. So you should be shorting stocks, you should be buying puts, or you should be selling premium. And my experience on the short side of the market, which is a great side for everybody to trade, because you're always quick to get out of short positions and you trade short positions. You don't marry short positions. I think you make a lot of money in these bear markets. So I think everybody needs to adjust their trading from long to short. You can still have opportunities to go long. It's not every single trade has to be a short, but I think your mindset should be looking for what are short opportunities. So like, for instance, when Apple announced their great earnings and the stock shot up 8-9%, I went out and bought some out of the money puts. And I've got a fair amount of time because I wanted to have the opportunity to let the trade kind of mature a little bit. So in that particular situation, I'm not exiting the trade immediately, but I'm entering it into a lot of excitement and I'm trading it on the short side. We'll see if I'm right. I will say one thing. It's nice to be in a situation with all of this volatility not to be long and to be more on the short side. So it's easier for me. The other chart, which I think is a great chart that they just showed earlier this week, is a 30-year chart on the 10-year bonds. And what it says in this chart tells me is that you've got this trend line that's at 2.9%. And if 10-year bonds bust through 3%, that those bonds are, interest rates are probably going to go to 5, 6, 7%. And I think, again, looking at a chart like that, it says to you, I'm going to be defensive, I'm going to be bearish, and I'm going to see if this materializes. Now, if the trend continues and it gets up to 3% and then falls back down again, then you have to say to yourself, okay, looks like we're going back into a bull market. Interest rates are back into my favor, and I can change my bearish mentality. And this 30-year trend line has maintained, and if anything, is going to be stronger. So this is why I suggest, there was a time when I traded more aggressively. It made sense. I had Bloomberg at the terminals, and they're incredibly valuable tools. Back then, it was $3,700, $4,000 a month. I don't even know what it costs now to get a terminal. I bet you it's probably about $10,000 a month. But they have terrific ideas and information, and that's where I get a lot of these ideas from. So that's why I just wanted to show these charts. But if you tape that every single morning, at least once or twice a week, you'll see information like this that you could use to trade and to get ideas.
No, this is great stuff. Thank you so much. I mean, that's something that I'm going to incorporate and definitely add to my trading journal. And we will blow up these charts and we'll put it in the chat room so people can have it for their trading journal. But that really does help. So yeah, got to pay attention to what's happening in the markets. And like I told you guys, like a month ago, I already knew this was going to happen just by everything that was happening in the economy, to politics, to it was turning very bearish. And like I said, I entered the market in 2020, very bullish market. It was bullish every single day. We made a lot of money. And then I'm not used to this. So I knew in order for me to continue to be a good trader and be successful, I had to switch it up. So I started learning puts, options, and how to hedge. And that was important for me. So it's working. And, obviously we have Bentley Trading and, other people that are here to help us every single day. So this is something that we all should be incorporating into our trading skills to make sure because there's different ways to make money in the markets. You don't just necessarily have to be a bull all the time. Obviously we're always bullish, right? But we can't be bullish if the market's bearish. We gotta play both sides. So thanks, Jim, for that. We really appreciate it. Jim comes with so much knowledge. When I talk to him, I literally have to process after I get off the phone with everything that we just talked about. So I'm really lucky to have someone like Jim in my life every single day. We talk on the phone right before the markets open, right, Jim? You call me around 8:30, 9 o'clock on your way into the office. And
yeah. So Shar is my morning motivation. Okay. So it's for real. She's got wonderful energy, and she does really want to learn. And I got to tell you guys, the only way, unfortunately, you learn trading is by losing money. And I don't know how else to tell you except that's the price that you have to pay. And
market tuition.
Yeah, and so what you want to do is understanding that you have to pay that tuition. You want to minimize the pain as much as possible. So you really want to take a small percentage. When I say small, 10 or 15% of your investment portfolio and trade, okay? And the other part of your portfolio, depending on where you are, your age. I mean, I'm 63 years old. I should be going to a more cash position. If I'm 25 years old, I can ride off a market that trades off 20 or 30%. I mean, so big deal if Apple goes from 170 to 130. Who cares? Because it's going to go to 250 because it's an incredibly well-run company 5 year, 10 years from now. So,
Yeah.
depending on where you are, if you're going to trade, just recognize that you can lose a lot of money or you can lose all your money, and be careful.
Yeah, I just got to be careful. And remember, guys, just stick to your basic rules. Take profits, cut your losses quickly, don't be greedy. Those are the top three, right? So if we do continue to do that daily on every single trade, and we're not going to be holding bags, and you're not going to be frustrated, and it's going to be good. And that's just basically the basic, simple principles of beginners trading. And build your accounts. That's the goal, is to get over the PTD rules that they have for us here in America. Get over those rules, and you can trade as much as you want and take part of the free and fair trading of this country. This can be a place where you can definitely get financial freedom, but you got to put the work in, you got to study, and this is what we preach all day long. Learn how to trade, learn how to read charts, learn fundamentals. It's all part of it. It's a one big huge package. And that's what we got to do. Jim, had Jim is such, he comes with so much knowledge. Like every day it's a surprise for me of all the people he knows. And one of the persons he knows, I'm going to tell him, Jim, is Jeff Bezos. Jeff Bezos went to Jim back in the
No,
day.
stop. I do not know Jeff Bezos. I tried to get the business from Jeff Bezos, and he told me that he did not want to hire me. This is before he went public.
I know, but I'm just saying, like, that's how big like your PR firm was, and so it's just like, I just want these guys to know, like, RST is about networking, and your network is your net worth, and I always preach this. And just so we are real people in here, and we are here to help everyone. And it's never going to be like a huge trading app in here, trading Discord server. We're all real people, and I want everyone to feel comfortable in here. And we're all here for everyone's wins, and that's the most important thing. So, I could have kept Jim a secret and kept him to myself, but I wanted to share because he's so full of wealth and knowledge. I wanted him to be a part of our family. So you guys can, if you have questions about something that you don't understand, you can reach out to him. And that's, I'm sharing my network with you guys. And that's very important to me because you guys are part of my network. And so, so we're just happy. We're happy to have Jim part of the RST family. And we appreciate him for coming in here today and giving us all of this great information. Do you guys have any questions for him? I'm going to open up the mic.
This is KB. Not any questions really for me. I think this was so insightful. Great information. Thank you so much for joining us, Jim. I just got a lot of great nuggets from you, watching Bloomberg. I don't watch it as religiously as I should, but I definitely will be watching it every morning and paying attention a lot more closely.
Seriously, tape it. Just for 2 hours, just get it on your DVR. You can buzz through the stuff you don't need, so you spend 10, 15 minutes reviewing it, and it will just give you so much knowledge and put you way up as far as just how to trade. I'm a big believer in starting your morning like that.
But I do have one question for you. What motivates you?
So what motivates me. Striving to succeed.
Running.
I'm very competitive. You showed that picture of Seth Curry. I'm a wannabe athlete. Okay. Unfortunately, I wasn't as gifted with the physical ability that a Seth Curry has, but from somebody who trains and puts energy and effort into working out, I know that that man probably puts in 30 to 40 hours a week just training for basketball. And I don't even want to tell you how much he's overachieved compared to what he should have been able to do. He's an amazing example of what one can achieve. And so, yeah, I like to kind of do the impossible. And that's what charges me.
Wow.
So anyway, I will say this, and this is just my thoughts. I'm a big believer in empowerment of shareholders. It's something that, because I've been in investor relations my whole life, I don't think there's anything more important in a company than a shareholder. I think that you people getting together in these forums to educate yourself and to be smarter, better shareholders is so important. And that I hope that from these, your group will have the power to reach out through media and through social media and start demanding that management become accountable. And I truly believe that what Shar's doing and all of this social media that is kind of evolving on its own is going to make a much better country as far as management being a more accountable and better companies. So I applaud all you guys for spending your evening and putting the effort in to learn and applying yourself. And even if this wasn't really beneficial, the fact that you took the time to at least try to learn something. So that wonderful saying, effort in equals results out, that's Seth Curry. And you guys put that effort in, I promise you'll get the same results.
Absolutely.
Thanks,
Practice
Al.
only makes perfect. Does anybody else have any questions for Jim?
No question. I just want to say thanks for all the wisdom. Yeah, I've been sitting in with Bentley, and he often teaches a lot of technical things that he's doing, and I know a lot of what he's teaching. So what I really gain from that is like the little bits of wisdom that he gives off, and he's only been training for a short period of time. So to hear what you have to say, I soak it in like a sponge. All the wisdoms is what really helps me. So thank you.
I was very fortunate to, because of my job and the people that I was thrust into, to be with just brilliant people, way smarter than me. And I just would shut up and listen. And you're right. So find people who have, okay, a lot of people trade with stochastics and momentums and 5 minutes and this and all these other fun things. They all have their own systems that work, and learn them. And expose yourself to as much as you possibly can. And again, just so, because I've done this for so many years, and I know it's kind of bizarre, I can look at a chart and I can go and point to you and say, this is on an upward trend from this. You've got this going on here. You got island reversal. You got all these things. And it's like, it's just trained into my brain, and I can kind of get directions. And I know I'm not like I'm perfect, obviously. And, I make terrible trades. I mean, Shar knows of some of the terrible trades I've made. All right. I too get caught up in things and don't follow my rules, and I'm human. But learn as much as you can. If you do that, you'll be the benefit from it.
Yeah. Well, we loved your alert on GMVD. That was, you alerted me, and I did the DD, and I would put it in the room. We had it at like $2.30. It went all the way almost to $7. So,
and I traded it. But okay, the best trade was, and I know you didn't catch this, Shar, but when they raised and they did that secondary offering, and I told you that deal, and I told you it was toast. That was at what, $5.50, $6 when they announced that.
Yep.
And immediately the stops dropped. You could have shorted. That was a slam dunk short that you could have gone over there and shorted that position as soon as they announced. That
it would have been like $3 short per share.
Yeah. So if you're $3. So if you're alert, and again, to these things that companies tell you, you can trade off of that stuff.
Yeah, you can make money both ways. Um, yeah, I mean, and also, what I've learned from this training is the commodities, pay attention to those, like, gold, silver, metals, oil, all these things, because we're going through a shortage right now in our economy. There's a lot of things like you can go to the grocery store. One of my friends called me the other day. She's like, I'm at the grocery store and I can't find cream cheese. And I'm like, cream cheese? She's like, yeah, I can't find cream cheese. And I'm like, oh my goodness. She's like, she went to like 3 different grocery stores. And, so look at your everyday life and what's happening. What are you having issues? Like how much are you paying for gas? Pay little attention to those types of things to see what we are lacking or where the shortages are. Lumber was huge in 2020. There was a huge shortage in lumber. I remember that.
So you could have taken that commodity trade and traded Home Depot on options, or just bought the stock and make a fortune, because lumber was a leading indicator that says housing's booming.
Yeah. Yep. And then all the builders were all delayed. So I do remember that. So, these are great takeaways today. I mean, every time I have this training, I get so much knowledge out of it. Even if we don't have a special guest, I just like talking to you guys. So, yeah. So anyone else have anything else to say? Stocks only. Are you there?
I'm here.
Okay, cool. Well, Jim, we thank you for your time, for coming in here and talking to us and being part of our family. And, if you have any questions for Jim or anything, shoot him a DM on Discord and just let him know, ask him a question. But yeah, we appreciate this. And remember, guys, he's right. Investor relations is very important. We got to pay attention to what these companies are doing and how they're taking care of their shareholders, because without us, they're not nothing, so always pay attention to those types of things. And it's amazing. Jim has a lot of stories, guys. He's taken a lot of companies to the New York Stock Exchange, and maybe one day we can have him come back and tell us some of his highlights with some of these companies. But he knows a lot of people and just a really good connection to have. So thanks, Jim.
Well, you're welcome.
Thanks
Always
taking the time out.
Appreciate, I'm a big fan, Shar. So if I can help, I'm there because you've helped me. So, that's
Love you,
what I'm about.
Jim.
All right, guys.
Tomorrow morning, 8:30,
Appreciate it.
our time together.
All righty. Bye-bye.
Okay, bye. All right, guys. So well, we have a couple of minutes. Do you guys want to go over some charts? I know Stocks Only does.
I love going over charts.
I always want to go over charts.
Did you guys have a good week? Let's talk about our week from last week to this week. Any highlights that you guys want to share? Any wins that you want to share?
I will, yeah. Let me get this set up. I always got stuff to share.
JC, you got something to say?
No, I'm just saying I love going over charts, so I'm always.
All right, so I'll let you and Stocks run this.
What's up, charts? What are you guys trading?
Unfortunately, my first trading day for the week is going to be tomorrow. So.
Oh.
Neo, though, if you want to pull that up, it just had a 8-21 MA cross. I know Inbar loves those, but
821 MA. Oh, I got Fibonacci on here for some reason. We were looking at this last week.
Oh, did we?
Yeah. 25.
Yeah, so I'm watching that because there's a gap up to 27 something. So that's what I'm looking at. See if it fills it or not.
27.21, yeah.
Yep.
Good call. Yeah, I'm waiting on the CEO for SBET supposed to speak tomorrow in Vegas. So waiting on him to say some words. And whatever the stock does, I'm selling it. That's a lot of money for me coming back. Whether it's whether it's skyrockets or whatever, it's a lot of money coming back when I sell it. So I'm ready for that.
Yeah.
Zson made a nice move today. That's a nice gap up to 41 cents.
Oh, nice. I did not see that one.
It's at 22, so I got a whole bunch of that. And then Zella, XELA, I've been trading that as usual.
CETI was a monster today. I was in that one. That was a bag I was holding for a while, and it ran.
What ticker?
KB, what was that? Which stock?
CETI.
CETI?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, that did have a good day, huh? Gapped up and then...
Oh.
Wow.
It did really well.
Yeah, it got up to 205.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm talking about. OTC. That's a win. Does anybody have any
I got in TISI.
TISI.
Guys.
That's nice moves too. And another nice move after hours.
Yes, sir.
Settles at 135. Started at 91. Started at 88 cents in the pre-market.
It's a huge daily volume candle, 23 million. That's the most it's had in the whole year.
Wow.
So interested to see it. I'm sure that run will continue tomorrow, maybe. I don't know. Earnings
3
coming
million.
up.
I'm hoping.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah. So that might be one you keep.
It's got to gap up. It's got to gap up.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, 250-ish, 260.
That's cheap. I'm about to move that up on this massive watch list.
Yes.
The lower 70% of this watch list is just like a graveyard of stuff I barely look at. So if it's worth looking at, I move it towards the top.
Nice.
That's just that's what I get. I don't pay, and I'm not paying. I'll just use one big ass watch list in my mind. I'm good.
Hey, as long as you know what it is, right?
Yeah, exactly.
My favorite stock today was SPCE. I sold it way too soon, but then I got back in because I was like, oh my God.
You didn't sell it too soon. You know what? Bentley said something that made a lot of sense that I've heard many times, but it makes a lot of sense from a guy who went from 2,500 to $1 million in, 8 months or whatever. And he said, I don't care if I sell for $1, $100, $1,000.
Oh, yeah, I heard him say
That's
it.
I'm happy that I made money.
The reason I sold too soon is because I was distracted. I was talking to a guy. So
it's time to get out. Oh, wait, no, it's not. It's not.
I was distracted, so I got out. I got out, but then it just kept running. And I'm like, oh my God, I need to pay attention to my charts and stop flirting.
It's another 821 MA cross on the daily.
Yeah.
And they had news, right? So
yep. And then CIDM.
Oh yeah, I made some money on CIDM today.
He called that at $1, and it went to like $1.20.
Yeah, you call it at 99 cents. I had my stop set because I'm extremely careful. I'm not a bear because I just can't at the moment. So
no,
I'm
we
extremely careful. So
sure.
I fucking put stops where I should put them, and when I go and as it moved up, I just kept moving I would find a key level and put my stop right here until I finally got to 114 and the key level was 112. I put my stop at 111. It hit 111, sold. I was like, all right, I'm out. Good to go. Need some money.
KAVL has been like our GMVD for January. I mean, you guys should, if you guys have been trading
insane.
You know the pattern like the back of your head. You know when it gets to like $2.70. That's when you load up, and then it goes up. Today it did really well. It went all the way up to $3.30 or something.
Yeah, that daily candle kind of looks like buyers got pushed back down low. That wick is up to the top.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe.
Yeah. Since we've been having a very green day on this stock for weeks now, it's 3 weeks straight we've been having green days on the stock. So tomorrow we might see a little red, but I think we still have another week or so left in the stock, I believe. If they drop some news, the only thing that worries me about the stock is they could drop an offering anytime. So like that other company, SBEV, they dropped an offering on their shareholders when it got to its highs of like what was it, 550, they dropped an offering. So those are the things that you want to watch out for, especially with these small cap stocks, is that if they start running and they're having good runs, just be mindful that they could be dropping an offering anytime, because they need to raise money too, so.
Yeah. I love the scale if I'm going to keep it.
Parallel channel tool. Oh, found it. Parallel channel is a great tool.
Okay, yeah, is that the one at the bottom?
Parallel channel is right here.
Oh, yeah, the parallel channel. Yeah, I see it. So it shows you the upward trend.
That's nice
Shows
because
you-
you don't have
it
to do
shows you
those lines manually. You know what I mean?
Oh, that's cool.
Nice. I have to incorporate that in mine.
Yeah, I got to put that in mine too, on my computer.
I'm certainly a computer geek, and I love this website. So I sit around and like poke at all little tools and see how to make my charting easier on a daily basis.
So I look at.
Go ahead. I'm sorry. No.
I was just gonna say I get bored now. I'll go on TradingView and Twitter, and I'll just see what people call, and I'll just try to see what why they alerted it, or if there's being pumpers.
Right. Yeah. I think it's smart to you don't have to be in every trade that you play. Like, not necessarily open a paper trade account, but like I'll analyze charts all day, and if there's a trade that I didn't take, maybe I'll just chart it out anyway and make a prediction. You know what I mean? And that just lets me know if I'm on the right track or not without risking any money.
That's exactly what I do. I pay for TradingView, so I can set like as many alerts as I want. So I'll set an alert at my cell, and I'll write myself a note like paper bought at whatever, and kind of write like a note to myself.
Right. So that's and if you think about it, you don't have to open an account anywhere to paper trade. That's why they call it paper trading, because I imagine originally it was with the pen and paper, just no money.
Right.
So it's just it's I think it's fun too, because then there's no risk, but I'm still playing the game.
Yep.
And if I win, then I'm like, all right, that's something I can put into my own mix. GoTo had a nice move today.
20%, nice.
Nice big old drop down to $1.95 yesterday. I missed it. I'm always trading GoTo, and I missed this dip yesterday. And then this morning, I woke up and I'm like, oh my god, how could I miss the dip yesterday? But
what was the high today?
248, 249.
Oh man, that would have been a good one.
Yeah, right. I was pissed, but I'm happy that it's moving.
Looks like on the weekly, it hit the 21 MA's resistance or just below it. So it's a solid move.
I imagine it'll have a red day tomorrow, just because it's GoTo and it had a nice big old move. Someone wants to sell it.
I love that we know our charts of our favorite plays. I just think it's cool.
I mean, look at it. There's no selling. This is a big move up, no selling, and it ended green as hell. It's gonna go down tomorrow.
What was the volume on it today?
9 million, double the average.
Yeah.
The 10-day average.
That's good.
Look at the SoFi, SOFI. That's looks like it's about done consolidating.
Nice. I have that on my watch list.
Yeah, I'm watching that this week as well.
Oh, I think I had that up there. I just canceled it and brought it back to the bottom. Oops.
I'm still liking DCFC. I'm still liking that stock. It's a hard to borrow stock, so the premiums to short it is expensive for the bears. But I still like it. They had good news today. They're going to be putting EV chargers all throughout Washington, D.C., and I believe Atlanta. I don't know. But they're going to... that one ran to almost $20, 2 weeks ago or last week? So it's back to $9, $10. DCFC.
I saw somewhere that Biden is trying to get a bunch of EV stuff. I saw.
Yeah, I think the EV stocks are going to go back up. I'm really trying to get Lucid. I missed the Lucid call at $25 on Monday. I was so mad. And then it went to $28, but I'm watching it again to see if the Bears short it. So if they do, I'm going to pick some back up at 25. Looks like 25 is like the bottom range. So I'm watching that one too. Oh, I'm also watching Fubu. I want that at $9. They
Fubu
have
or Fubo.
yeah, whatever it's called, the streaming service.
Yeah.
But they just signed up the major fight league or the professional fight league people. Like they're going to be doing their fights on their streamer. The UFC fights.
Yeah.
It's going to be on their network. They're going to be streaming it. So I want to buy that, but I want it at $9.
What's up
So
with next level water on the Super Bowl field? What's that about?
Oh, I don't know. Isn't
I
that
did see
cool?
the picture.
Yeah. So, well, today, I don't know if you guys have been paying attention, but I had to put the Discord on slow mode. I first did it for 6 hours, then I put them on timeout for 2 hours, and then now I took it completely off. But because I think people in there are just really obsessed with the stock and they need mental health cool down sometimes because they're just really, really, really attached to the stock and everything that's going on with this company. So, I had to put them on timeout zone, but slow mode. But today they got a release from. Okay, so we know about the embezzlement lawsuit, and we know that Takeover filed a lawsuit against Mike Hawley because he stole $850,000 allegedly. And so, with the forensics that they have on him, he has to respond within a certain time frame. And today, we got his response in the court system that he basically said that, well, yeah, he did take money, but he was not the only one. And here's boom is the screenshots of Toby directing him on what to take out and this and that. So Jason has a lot of cleaning up to do. And we're going to pray for him. And he's going to get this company where it needs to go. He's the one who's going to save this company. And I truly believe that. That is my opinion. And he did also, since the people that are really obsessed with the stock online, they found the lawsuit, they found the reply from Mike Hawley, they put out a big, huge DD thread by some guy with a Twitter handle named Gold something. And so there was a lot of commotion on it. And but Jason responded. He put out a tweet, and we're gonna stick it out. He said the case has nothing. I don't remember what the tweet says. Maybe somebody can pull it up and read it. But let me pull it up.
I saw just the gist is they're moving forward. That
Yeah,
has nothing
to do with the case, and they're full steam. So to loved shareholders, followers, and trolls, people are trying to create issues without knowing facts. I've done what I said. We're not releasing info until it's time because it gets weaponized. Rest assured, we will reach our goal. The case is not delaying anything. Full steam ahead. So Jason has a lot on his plate. Not only is he trying to get this company to be trading again and doing whatever he needs to do to get that done, but he's also dealing with inside managerial issues and things that are going on inside the company. So we're going to hold him in our prayers and making sure that he gets the job done. One thing I can say about Jason is that he plays chess, not checkers. And I think that this was all strategically planned out. So that's just my opinion. And we'll see what happens in the coming days. But he did say February or sooner. I believe he said that in December. So we will probably get something by the end of this month. And he'll probably hold on to his word of February and sooner.
Honestly, sure. I mean, it's not surprising that, one person being in charge of financials is kind of crazy. So I'm sure Jason is on top of.
Of course. I mean, I kind of think we all knew this, right? Yeah. This was one of our biggest concerns, even though Stan, whatever. He decided to get out of the positions that he was in and just be done with it all. He kind of, pointed us in some of the alerting things that he found to be, alarming. And, he had hard questions. Maybe he didn't do it the right way, but whatever the case is, he was kind of right on the money. So, we kind of knew this already, and now we just see how all this plays out.
Yep, onward and upward.
Yeah, Jason's doing a great job. He, if it wasn't for him, I think the company would be done. I think we would all been scammed. And that's just my opinion. So, we appreciate him for stepping up into the role that he did to take on the mess. And now that the curtains are opened, we kind of see the mess that he was dealing with and what the company was going through. So,
did you mention Lucid?
Huh?
Did you mention Lucid or today?
Yeah. LCID. I want it at $25. So someone go short it.
I was gonna say, it looks like it's curling up a little bit there.
It is. I missed it, JC.
Yeah.
I missed the $25 mark. It was pre-market.
Yeah.
Monday, it was sitting at $25, and I don't know why I did not hit the buy button, but whatever.
This is kind of a double bottom here. If it can break over 29, you're good to go.
Yeah, it'll probably go back to $35, especially with the EV stocks heating up again. So
that's why I looked at it after you mentioned it.
Yep.
It looks like Radio Silent Play also he tweeted out that article that I saw.
Okay, good.
So up in the main chat there.
Okay.
I mean, it's a long shot double bottom, but
Yeah, it looks like it's just been consolidating since the end of January.
Right there.
Love our trainings. We've been doing some great trainings, guys. I love it.
Yeah, I love it too. I look forward to these trainings.
Does anyone else have any other questions? I want to go over a chart real quick before we end our meeting with our last video. And like usual, please talk when we're done. Let us know what you took away from today's training in main chat, so we have it for our records. And like I said, thank you guys for joining us. Taking an hour and some change out of your weekly schedule to spend time with your trading family here at RST. It's really great. We get to know each other a little bit more, and we get to hear our voices. That's my dog. He's whining at me because he wants to play. So thanks, guys. Anyone else have any questions or anything? If not, then stocks only. Play the last video, and I will see you guys tomorrow morning. Shh.
See you in the morning. Here's the video, y'all.
Stop it.
I talked about faith, passion, obviously the drive with the guys that I've been around and the guys that surround me every single day. But a part of that is having the will to succeed. Knowing that you put the work in and have the confidence.
There's no volume.
Oh, there's no audio? Let me fix it.
No.
I'm going to close the stream and then restart it. Can you hear that?
No. Yeah.
Okay.
I talked about faith, passion, obviously the drive with the guys that I've been around and the guys that surround me every single day. But a part of that is having the will to succeed. Knowing that you put the work in and have the confidence to let it show. What I tell people is just be the best version of yourself in anything that you do. You don't have to live anybody else's story. Sometimes people make it seem like you have to have certain prerequisites or a crazy life story in order to be successful in this world. But the truth is you really don't. It doesn't matter where you come from, what you have or don't have, what you lack, what you have too much of, but all you need to have is faith in God, an undying passion for what you do or what you choose to do in this life, and a relentless drive and the will to do whatever it takes to be successful and whatever you put your mind to. Make sure you live in the moment and work your butt off every single day. And I hope I inspire people all around the world to just be themselves, be humble, and be grateful for all the blessings in your life. And I'm truly honored to be your MVP this year. So thank you very much. I was always the smallest kid on my team. When it comes to basketball, I was always the smallest kid on my team. You know, everything happens for a reason, and there's a story to everything. And if you take time to realize, you know, what your dream is and what you really want in life, no matter what it is, whether it's sports, whether it's in other fields, you have to realize that there's always work to do, and you want to be the hardest working person in whatever you do, and you put yourself in position to be successful. And you have to have a passion about what you do. And basketball was mine, and that's what's carried me to this point.
Good night, you guys. And when the recording started during the first video, the recording crashed again, and I had to restart it. So I just want to say one more time: this is just for entertainment purposes. All rights reserved. This is not financial advice at all in any way, shape, or form. Anything that ever comes from this channel is all for entertainment.
Do your own diligence.
Do your own DD. Good night, everybody.
Yes. Good night.